I'm going to tell you this story. I'm coaching this young lady, and she gives me a call and says, you know what, Don? I'm going to have to reschedule the coaching. I said, why is that? Why are you going to reschedule the coaching? All right. And she says, the reason why I need to reschedule the coaching is this. I'm buying a new car today. I said, what? I'm buying a new car today, she says. And I says, well, what do you mean? Because part of our agreement is if you're going to do anything big, you want to run it through the P.I.L.L method first and to see if we can actually save you more money. She says, well, I don't see how you can save me more money. I'm paying cash. So what do you mean? She says, I'm trading in my car. Now, this was a luxury car she was trading in. All right. And the dealership was going to take it on trade and give her $38,000 towards her new car. All right. And then she was going to write a check for $32,000. Now that's $70,000 out the door, no payments, no interest. And she thought, well, I didn't think I had to share that with you because I wasn't paying any interest and you're the interest cancellation expert. So if I'm not paying any interest, that's got to be good. And I said, well, yeah, that's good not paying any interest. But guess what? You're not looking at how much interest you can save in other places by doing this a different way or thinking about it a different way. So I said, listen, when are you picking up the car? Now it's already 9 a.m. All right. I said, when are you picking up the car? And she says, at 11. I said, let me switch some things around. All right. I moved some appointments, called my assistant, had my schedule cleared. And I said, let me meet you at the dealership at 11. Bring your computer. All right. Because all that we do is on the computer. So I asked her, I said, now, the last thing I told her is ask the dealership if they will write you a check for your car. Will they purchase the car instead of giving you a trade-in for the car? All right. So we get there. And then she says, guess what, Don? They will write me a check for the car. So let me show you what happens when you take a certain amount of money in this situation. She has several properties that we are saving her a ton of interest on. So what I did was I said, now we're going to take that situation and we're going to tell the program, you are receiving $38,000 extra that you can put into your checking account. All right. So when you add extra money in, you just go to the add new action. All right. We're going to deposit that $38,000 check into her checking account virtually. We're going to tell the program we have that $38,000. And so we're going to say, okay, this is from the dealership. Okay. I'm typing it in from the dealership and we're going to put that money in her checking account. All right. And we're going to put down here $38,000, $38,000. Now remember, she has $38,000 of their dollars and $32,000 of her own. Okay, so we got $38,000 and we're putting it in. This isn't exactly her situation, but I'll give you an idea of what's going on. All right, so we're doing this and then we're going to give it a category. We're just going to call it income. All right, so now we're saving that and putting it into the program. Once we save that, folks, guess what? The program will tell her what to do with that money. And out of all the mortgages here, we're going to, what I did was I didn't put the date in. Let me put the right date in on that. So we're going to open this up and put the date that is in the program here. Okay, November. All right, because the program starts out in November. So we're putting that in November and we're going to save it back to the action plan. All right, so now here's what the program is telling them to do. We got $38,000 going into from the dealership plus $15,000 from rents coming in from the properties. All right, then let's scroll down here. So the program says take $32,000 and apply it to mortgage number 9. There are 10 mortgages in here. So the program says, apply that to mortgage number 9, $32,000, and then it'll tell you how much interest you save. You won't believe this. Let me execute this, and you will see by putting $32,000 on at this time, how much interest are we saving? Let me blow this up so you can see it. Let me blow this up. $284,115.89 in interest saved on this house. Now, she could have taken that, traded in her car, got $38,000 off the new car, and then write a check for $32,000 and still had to pay interest on her other properties. But what we showed her is if you get the $38,000 from the dealership, put it into the program and let the program direct you, it's going to tell you to put money on this particular mortgage that's going to save you $284,000 in interest you will never have to pay. So she says, I get my car for free. I get my car for free using the $38,000 they're giving her in a check. And I said, now what you're going to do with that $32,000, you're going to take that $32,000 and put it back into the investment you got it from. And we're going to finance your car for 84 months. You could have knocked her over with a feather. Finance a car for 80? No way. No doggone way am I going to do that. I said, let's put it into the program. Now, in her particular program, she's paying off 6 houses in about 6 years. So by putting that money on a mortgage, she cut off several years off of one of the houses by putting that $38,000 down and putting it on one of the mortgages. Because of that savings, when we added the car to her program, remember, she was supposed to pay off the houses in 6 years. Now she'll be able to pay off the house and the car in 6.5 years by putting it into the P.I.L.L method program, taking her $32,000 and putting it back into the investment. She did not have to come out of pocket at all on the purchase of the car because we were going to pay for the car with interest savings from the interest she would have had to pay on the houses. What do you all think of that? What do you all think of that? All right. My goodness. I love it. I absolutely love that example. Folks, listen, raise your hand, come to the stage and find out why we're doing what we're doing. Because the P.I.L.L method is personal. It is individual financial education. We're an educational company. So when you come to the P.I.L.L method, we're going to design a program just for you. This was something that was unique to her. And so when you get the P.I.L.L method program, she was thinking because she thought she knew, she was even in the program and still didn't know everything she needed to know. Now, here's what she did know. She knew everything we taught her, but she didn't know everything we know. One more time. She knew what we taught her, but she didn't know everything we know yet. It takes time, folks, to unlearn what the banks have been doing to us for a very long time. And here's what we call cognitive dissonance. When you've been doing something for so long and you see credible evidence that another way is better, do you know that causes people to be fearful? It causes people to have anxiety because even though what they're doing has been inefficient, it's comfortable and at least they're making some headway. But Don, you're talking about doing something so completely different that it makes us very uncomfortable, even though we can see the numbers. What you're talking about is a better way to go. So this is why with our program, it's not just the technology. You have to have the education that goes along with it so that you can get the best of the technology and we can overcome what you've been taught in the past.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book, Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.